Hello, everyone. Sierra Flores here, the Everyday Educator. This is my very first live stream. And so I wasn't sure if I wanted to jump in and do this, but then I figured, you know what? Who cares? I'm here, I'm having fun, and I'm putting myself out there. And so I'm going to do this regardless, and let's get started. So, for this first live stream, I've noticed there are a lot of people who've been asking me questions. And so, whether that's via Twitter, some people have been asking me on Instagram and directly in the comment sections, and some of them are just in person when they see me. And so, I wanted to make a list of those things that people have been asking me, the most, I guess you would say, the most frequently asked questions. And I wanted to just go on and answer those questions because, well, first of all, they keep getting asked, so they must be burning questions. And then, second, I want to get on with you, engage, and allow you to kind of have that one-on-one, well, one on however many type of experience. So I'm going to jump right in. Question number one that I get asked all the time. What is your job? I am a technology facilitator for an elementary school in Charlotte, North Carolina. Something that I do, I run all the technology for grades kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth grade. And that's everything from repairing Chromebooks to iPads, assisting students with their accounts, teaching them how to do minor things like this is how you share your screen in Zoom, things like that, all the way up to, well, this is the way that you can reset your Chromebook because you spilled juice on it and now we really need to fix it. And so it's a lot of break fix, but then also it's fun because I get to teach teachers how they can use technology in their classrooms. And that's actually what I really like, is showing them, and especially helping the ones that are really apprehensive about using technology. I really like to dig in and get those teachers and help them to see that it's not scary. You're not going to break the internet. It's fine. And if you do mess up something, I can fix it, I promise. Well, don't hold me to that. I'll do my best. But yeah, that's my main thing. I do anything and everything that has to do with technology for the school, all their families, all the students, all the teachers. So, and I really enjoy it. It's so much fun. I love troubleshooting. All right. The next question that I have here that I get asked a lot. What do you prefer, Zoom or Google Meet? That's one that if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I'm a Google girl all the way. I use Google everything. I am Google certified. I am Google admin. I don't know. I love Google. Anyway, so because of that, I was always Google Meet 100%. However, our district is using Zoom, and so I've had to use Zoom. And through that, I've noticed that there are a lot of features of Zoom that I prefer that work well with kids. Now, Google Meet, they are doing some updates, and it is kind of comparable as far as when you put it side by side with Google Meet versus Zoom. But I think it really just depends on what your overall, what your goal is. So for me, if I'm trying to talk to friends really quick or some colleagues super quick, I would use Google Meet because I don't have to log in. I just like boop, 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 tap it up and get a hold of them. And then we're in a quick call, then we can leave. So that's easy. But with Zoom, I like it because you can lock it down. I love the annotation feature, and then also the whiteboard feature, and then remote control where I can literally take charge of a student's screen and show them what to click instead of saying, no, click the blue button, the one on your left. No, your other left. Then I can just get in there and mess around remotely on their screen. There's a lot more too that I really enjoy about Zoom. One of it is that grid feature, which I know Google Meet is also starting to do. And I also like that you can dial in without using, you don't have to be on your computer. You can be on your cell phone. You can dial in from a telephone line. However you want to, you can get in. And so I really like the functionality of Zoom for a business setting and for school settings. I prefer Zoom all the way. Now, next question. This one's really tough for me. I get asked, well, what do you prefer? Pear Deck or Nearpod? This question is really tricky for me because I started off with Nearpod in 2016, I think it was 2015 or 2016. I started using Nearpod and I was actually interviewed. They came to my school to interview me. So that was pretty cool. But I love the functionality of it. I love the features. I love all of the differentiation that you can put into place with Nearpod. I love the 3D aspect of it. And I also love the collaboration. However, with Pear Deck, it also has a lot of those same options. Plus, it has unlimited storage. Anything that I create in Pear Deck Premium, once it's premium, it stays premium. And so I can use that and make sure that my kids are going to be able to have access to those premium features even in the future whenever I no longer have the free trial. Something else that I really like about Pear Deck in comparison to, when compared with Nearpod, is that with Pear Deck, I can use my Google Slides and teach directly from those Google Slides. And again, you know that I'm a Google girl. And you know that I love to make my Google Slides really dressy, really make them look fun and creative. And so the only way that I can get those Google Slides in Nearpod is if I'll have to kind of insert them and upload them, but all you can do is really just scroll through those to see the lesson slides versus on Pear Deck, those are the slides, they are the lesson. And so I really like that feature of it better. And so if you do want a comparison so that you can see for yourself, I would recommend watching that video that I have, Pear Deck versus Nearpod. But for me personally, I like Pear Deck better. And I know that's crazy. Whoa, most people they opt for Nearpod, but I prefer Pear Deck. Saying that on the record, I prefer Pear Deck. All right. There are, let's see, 2 more burning questions, and then I'll take some that are coming in. All right. What apps do you use daily for school? All right. So, as a tech person, I got a lot of apps, like a lot of apps, like a lot of apps. But the one I use at school the most, I've narrowed it down to 3, and 2 of them are Google apps. No surprise there. And the other one is actually a parent communication app. So the first app that I use daily is called Google Keep. This is is very helpful to help me stay on track so that I can write down digitally, type out all the tasks that I have to do for that day, and I can just check them off as I go. Check them off, check them off, check them off. And so that's really helpful because it keeps me on track. I can add photos if I'm in a room doing a tech repair, for example, and I need a specific cord. I can take a quick picture of the cord that I need, add that into my Google Keep, and then it saves, and I can access it from my computer, from my cell phone, from my tablet, wherever. I really love that. Now, for people that are not apps to use Google, there is a Microsoft version as well. It's called Microsoft Tasks. Very, very similar, but the difference is that it connects with your email if you use Outlook email. So if you take an email and you flag it, for example, that automatically populates in your Microsoft Tasks, and that's an area that that you can look in. For example, if you wanted to see what are my flagged emails, I have some to-do list or things on my to-do list. Just look at your Microsoft Tasks, and your flagged emails are already over there. So that's an option for those of you who aren't really hip to Google, but you prefer Microsoft, that entire suite. All right, the second app that I use daily at school, I use Google Voice. I don't like to give parents and families my actual cell phone number. I know a lot of teachers do. I do not, because in my experience in the past, my first 2 years of teaching, I gave these people my phone number and they were blowing it up all hours of the night, weekends, holidays, winter break, whenever it was Thanksgiving, no matter what, they were using it all the time. And I'm like, what? I couldn't get away from it. And even after I wasn't even at that school anymore, I would still get messages about, hey, when is PTO night? I don't know. I don't even work there anymore. But now, that is not to say that I don't like to talk to my parents. That just goes to say that I I want to talk to them during appropriate times. There are some parents now that have my personal number and I talk to them, I call them on the phone. We are tight during appropriate times, meaning during school hours, before 7 p.m., not on Christmas Day, things like that. But I like to use Google Voice because whenever it's free, and whenever someone is calling you, you have the opportunity to listen as they're leaving you a voicemail to say, wait a minute, is this something that I need to answer now? Or can I prioritize this a little bit lower in the line because I have other more pressing things to attend to? Then I'll get back to that. They can text you. You can text, you can open this up in a Google Chrome browser and you can text from your browser, or from your laptop. You can call from your laptop. And that's really helpful for whenever you are sitting down, you're stationed somewhere, put in your little headphones and then type in the number, and then you can just make your phone calls right there. And so I think that's really awesome. I like that feature. And I mean, it just is very helpful for me because they don't have my actual phone number. They have my Google Voice number. And so, yes, it does come to my phone, but it feels like it just feels different than that's my Google Voice number versus my actual personal phone number that my family uses. Um, Another alternative to that, again, if you're not a Google person, not everybody's a Google person. And so an alternative to Google Voice is to use Remind. And the website is just remind.com. But you can use that, and that'll allow you to kind of have a way to text without using your personal cell phone number. The third app that I like to use, and I use this daily, it's actually a new one. My school's a pilot this year for it. It's called School Connects, and it's School CNXT, Connects. And it's awesome because you can not only message parents, you can message other teachers in the school as well. But the best part is that it translates any and every message into the parent's home language. I have some parents that only speak Arabic. I text them in English, it shows up in Arabic. They text me in Arabic, the message shows up in English. And it's amazing because that bridges that gap between all the community and the teachers, and it brings the world right to us in all those languages. It's beautiful. And we can communicate with one another effectively. And that's the best part of it. And so, since we are a pilot school for this, there aren't very many that even have access to it. So don't be alarmed if you try to type it in and you don't find it, or you can't use it right away, or they want you to pay an astronomical amount. It's a pilot right now. Not everybody has access. So that's why I'm telling you about the next alternative to that, which is called Parent Square. I've used this at 3 different schools in the past, so I know that one's a little more popular, a little more out there. You may have heard of this one yourself. But Parent Square is another one of those apps that you can use. It doesn't have as much on the translation. It does have Spanish, but it doesn't really go as far. It doesn't go very deep with the translation. But Parent Square is another app that I used to have on my phone, and I would text parents that way and communicate with them because it's all recorded and everything they say to you, you say to them. It's out there, and it's, somebody tries to get cray cray. is recorded and it's there for you to see, and it's a record. And in the same night, if somebody says something amazing and sweet about you and just you're just the best teacher ever, that's also recorded there. Everything just stays right there and lives and breathes within the app. And then there are a lot more features which I'm not going to go into right now, but it's just another alternative if you want to have parent communication but not use your personal cell phone number. All right. Well, very last question, last burning question. I've been asked this one at least like minimum 12 times. And so this one says, how do you feel about going back to school during a pandemic? This is a question that's been on a lot of people's minds. A lot of people have been asking. We all have mixed feelings as educators going back to school during these very trying times. And so I can't speak for others, but for me, I'll be completely transparent. I was nervous, very, very nervous, because I have a lot of people in my household. Well, two people in my household that are very high risk, and so they're very, very susceptible to having that virus. And so I don't want to put them in any type of danger. And so I was really nervous because now I work K-5. So that's all the kids from kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth grade. That's hundreds of kids that I'm exposed to daily. And so I was really, really nervous about that. And that was just my personal thing. But then if I look at it from my educator's heart of hearts, I feel that, I mean, I get excited when I see the kids. They give me life, they give me energy. And there's nothing like hearing stories from kids about what they ate for dinner or how hilarious their cat was, or they tell you the craziest jokes, and it just lifts up my spirit, and I love it. I love seeing the kids back in school, and I do think that they benefit from having that in-person instruction. Now, it's not all week long, all 5 days, but it's a little bit, just a little bit. And for some kids, they definitely benefit from that. And there are other teachers like myself who really thrive from being around the kids and like feeling their spirits and then seeing their smiles, hearing their stories, laughing with them. And I do miss that social aspect of it, the educating aspect, and also the social aspect as well. So, how do I feel about going to school during a pandemic? I mean, yeah, I'm kind of nervous about it because, COVID, but at the same time, I'm genuinely excited to see the kids and be around them. Um, One thing that I bought some scrubs. And so I looked like Nurse Flores walking around, but I mean, I don't know if it's crazy or not, or if I'm being extra, but I wear a set of scrubs, and then when I get home, I put them directly in the wash, and then I shower, change, so that way I can go and be with my family and feel completely comfortable knowing that I didn't bring home anything creepy, crawly, or lurking on my skin, my hair, or on my outfit. So yeah, that's what I wear. I wear scrubs now. I'm a teacher that wears scrubs. All right. So, those were the burning questions, the top questions that you all have asked me on different various social media platforms. And so this will conclude my very first live stream ever. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you'll join me next time. Have an amazing night. Goodbye.